Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike is here. Ames is here. Hello, Amy. How are you?
What's going on?
I need to.
Deep breaths, Mike. Deep breaths.
Yeah, dude. I am.
Mike's having a hissy fit. He's throwing a
is.
temper tantrum.
Yeah, before we went live, and I take it out on you, and I'm sorry about that, Ames, because I don't mean to do that.
It's okay, Mike.
But before we start, so I've had this issue with the internet here, and eventually I'll have to do something, either get my own internet, but it's shared. I always lived alone. It was never an issue, but it fucks up if the kid's on playing like those extensive video games that they do. And so it's just a thing. Hey, when Uncle Mike's starting his show, you have to get off there. Otherwise it does that thing where you lose connection. It just bogs it down.
Yeah, because heaven forbid you're able to fucking multitask on an internet signal.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Don't get me started on that, Mike.
Don't get me started on it. It drives me nuts. It is the reality of what it is. I had struggles in Detroit too, and we had to upgrade a lot. Ron will remember this, having to come over and put all kinds of shit in the house. Like it's not exclusive to here, but we did find a workaround, and it means asshole can't play video games for an hour and a half, God forbid.
And by asshole, you mean your nephew.
My nephew, yeah.
Okay.
And so, like, usually I try to get the warden, because the warden doesn't give a fuck. The warden will just be like, get your ass off the game. She's one of those. But I want to be like best friends with everybody.
Uh-huh.
So I go, they're leaving. G and the warden are leaving. And so now it's me and Marsh and Stinky here, and I got to go do a show. So
wait, are you like babysitting for like an extended period of time? Like overnight?
No, a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
No big deal. They're just going away. And it's like, hey, can you tell him I'm about to start a show, though, and I need him off games? Yeah, no problem. And they go up there, and then I get a call like, okay, he knows he's been given, he can go play, he can go watch TV, he can do this, that, and he's fine. And he usually is pretty good about it. And so I'm like, my brother goes, you might want to just run up there real quick before you go live and just tell him to get off. And I'm like, okay, well, you just told him, but whatever. And I go up there, and of course he's still playing his game. And I'm like, hey, buddy.
He's got no sense of time.
None.
When playing,
and I'm like, dude, I'm about to start the show. I'm going to need you to hop off. And he's like, okay. And he's like, and I know what that's like when the parent tells you, and it's like, let me just finish this move. Totally. I got to get this one guy.
Uh-huh.
And so you're like, okay. And then like, we're at 40 seconds. And I'm like, hey, bro, I got to go now. And he's like, okay. And I go, just go watch your TV, whatever, YouTube, whatever the hell you're doing, porn. I don't know what you're watching, but go watch that for an hour and a half, and then I'll let you know as soon as I'm done. He's like, okay. And I see him shut it off. And then I come down here, and I'm waiting on you. Thank God you were busy watching dumb stuff. That's what I call it anytime my dad's watching TV. I'm like, oh, you're in here watching dumb stuff. Cool. So thank God you were held up for 3 minutes watching dumb stuff. Yeah. And I was at like, oh, I better just check the videos from Ron, make sure everything's in there. And I push play, and it starts stuttering like crazy. And I'm like, he wouldn't dare be back on his video games. Like, that would be absurd.
Wait, did you actually see him get off of it?
Yeah. And then I came down here. 30 seconds later, I have to go back up there. He's back on the video games.
Oh, my God.
Uncle Mike lost his shit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. What the fuck are we doing, bro? What the fuck are we doing? And he just bows his head in shame. And I'm like, dude, do you understand what's going on when I go fucking live? Do you? Sorry. No,
he's probably
bro.
like literally nothing.
Yeah. Just clueless. Clueless, or just a big fuck you. That's all I can think. And I get it. I was a pain in the ass kid, and it's probably payback for that. But it's like, coming into this new, I just don't understand. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I called G, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with your retarded kid? What the fuck? One of those. And he's like, take his computer. Just take it. I'm like, I'm not taking his computer. So if it goes off now, a child might be beat. Like if shit starts getting squirrely, I might go, give me a sec, Aim. I got to go beat a toddler. And
he's
then run
kidding,
upstairs
by the
real
way.
quick. Sure. No, of course I'm kidding. I've never laid a hand on anyone, and I don't talk to him quite that abruptly as I do for for show material.
I'm very sarcastic with kids though. Like I do
Yeah.
not change my tone at all.
Yeah, I don't really either.
I mean, if my niece were to do something like that, I would have walked up there and been like, did we miscommunicate about something? Was I unclear about what the situation was? Like, what's happening here?
Well, I'm at a loss because, like, I've got Reed and what's the other one's name? Madison in California, and then the Marshy here. And like, my thought is, I could be taken advantage of fully. Like, I don't like, dude.
Are you kidding?
Treat me like the dog treats me. Like, where's the treats, dude? Can we go into Pazul? And I'm like, yeah, whatever you need. Like, I'm that guy. Like, I'm the guy that can't be like, you're grounded. Do your homework.
Totally.
I'm the guy that, you should be like, bro, I saw this killer porn. You're going to have to check it out. I'm right on,
don't tell my dad.
Don't tell my dad. What do you think I am, a narc? No way.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's for him to figure out. Not old Uncle Mikey boy.
Right.
Like, dude, take advantage of me. They don't ask me for shit in the stores. Like, we go to the store and it's like they're on their best behavior around me. Like, it's weird.
Oh, really? See, the store is where I am like, can't say no. I literally have an inability to say no if my niece wants something when we're in the store. I will not say no, as a matter of fact.
Like, he's 10 right now. If he was asking for smokes or beer, I'd probably be like, dude, let me think about it. Let's not make any rash decisions. But other than that, other than beer and smokes at this stage, like, yeah, I'm your guy. You want a fucking stupid toy? Like, I'm your dude.
Yeah.
But they don't bother with that. And I'm like, when are they going to figure it out? Like, you want to ruin your dinner by going for ice cream? Like, I'm the guy.
Totally.
Call me in, dude. Tag me in. Let's go ruin your dinner. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to be viewed as.
This was little. She used to say to take her to 7-Eleven after dance, and she called it the blue drink store because she would get a blue Slurpee. And she said that I have it on video, but she said that Aunt Amy is nice, Daddy's nice, Grandma is nice like half the time, and Mommy is not nice because Mommy never takes her to the blue drink store. But she knew that Aunt Amy and Daddy always were going to say yes to go to the blue drink store. And when we were at 7-Eleven, it always involved a stuffed animal, like some squishy thing. So it was a Slurpee, it was a stuffed animal every time we went to fucking 7-Eleven. And I was a sucker for it every single time. But my sister, she was like, no.
Cop. She's got to be a cop. See, the warden gives in so much to him. It probably has to do with the upbringing she went through, given nothing. And so it's like, overcompensates for that. There's probably, the psychologist in me says that there's some of that going on. But, I just don't understand. Like, someone needs to explain to me if this is like, yep, this is what kids do. This is normal. Like, tell them one thing and then like literally 30 seconds later, completely ignore you like you're an asshole. And it's like, dude.
Yes.
That is kind of normal.
I'm here to tell you that that's very normal. I think it would be abnormal if he just listened.
Really?
A girl, different.
Yeah, Mad Dog,
but a boy,
Mad Dog adores Uncle Mike. But I have these thoughts of like my childhood. It's so weird because my dad kind of stinks, and my mom's amazing, but their parents were like my grandma in California was the shit. She was the one taking me to McDonald's and the beach and the roller coaster and all that stuff. She would always sneak me candy. And my mom's mom was the one that was like, don't touch that. Put that down. You need to be spanked. And it was just like, man, I don't like that mean one. And so it's really unfair. But I have this visual in my head of like, the mean one and the awesome one, because I know my grandma was awesome. But it's just like, I remember when I was 5 and had chickenpox. She was kind of a cunt. So like for whatever reason, that sticks with me. And it's like, I don't want to be viewed like that with these kids. So it's like, we're going to the blue drink store. Fine. Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah,
It's
of
2
course.
morning.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we go to the Blue Drink Store? They're open all night.
Exactly. Exactly. What you don't know is they're open all night.
7-Eleven used to mean they were open from 7 to 11, but not no more. So,
Yeah.
it's just, now I feel kind of bad because I'm like, it just feels so disrespectful. Like, dude, I don't ask anything of you ever. I'm here to hook you up. You know, that's kind of my role. And this I need you to abide by. So I came in kind of hot up there, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So before we get to real news today, I figured we'd start with a palate cleanser. I watched this chick freak out on a plane. I love these chicks freaking out on planes videos. And I'm hoping you can tell me. I literally don't even have a news story for it. So we're just going to have to watch it and kind of dissect what's going on. Deal?
We gon' fuck all night, bitch! We gon' fuck all night, bitch! Bitch!
Okay. So
is that a Delta
dude,
plane?
that's where I was going to go with this. What is this thing doing on a Delta plane? This looks like a Delta.
Yeah, it is Delta. I was expecting a Spirit plane. I will say this looks like maybe a smaller Delta plane, like, you know, like a connector.
Yeah, it probably has like an old generation iPad in the headrest or something. It does look like the smaller ones, like it's a smaller, but it's nonetheless, it still appears to be a Delta flight, not a Frontier, not an Allegiant, not a Spirit. Which is the
Spirit is obviously what you.
It's funny that's what you noticed because that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, wait a minute, this thing's way out of its class. You don't see this.
What is that though?
I don't know. It's an interesting move. I wouldn't think you could put your hand up above the. Oh, let's continue.
I said, fuck all night, bitch! Bitch, we gon' fuck all night, bitch! Cause we gon' fuck Abby! Bitch! Ambus! Bitch! No! Nasata! Mama!
Is it masked? What was that last thing there? Was that speaking in tongues? What was going on
I think so. Yeah, I think she started speaking in tongue.
Speaking in tongues, something demonic got into her. I don't know what that is. Where's the Sky Marshal when you need him? Where's the Air Marshal to shoot this thing? You need to
it's not enough
tranks.
Of them, Mike.
Yeah. What's your theory?
You know, we've seen an increase of plane freakouts as of late. And it has to be edibles. It has to be.
Yeah.
The accessibility to very strong, high potent edibles, you can just get them. You can just go to the store and buy them. And as evidenced by Big E when he took an edible, if you take too much, you're literally hallucinating. You're like, I'm dying, and you do shit that you wouldn't otherwise do. And I think people are taking edibles to take the edge off on a plane. I know I do, but I know how many I can take.
Yeah. Beth and I did that on a flight once. I can't remember where we were coming back from, but it might have been shit. I can't remember what it was, but we had one and we split it. And neither of us really smoke weed or anything. It was like, you want to, just for fun. But it was a small amount.
That's a good time to try it.
Yeah. It's kind of stupid, but it was fine. It was just kind of mellow.
Yeah, this could have been you if you took
two. We're going to fuck all night.
Yeah, like the first time I'm going to try an edible is when I'm fucking 30,000 feet in the air. Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Well, I guess, are those considered edibles like those caramels T-Roy used to make?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's different than the gummies. Like, you bring up Easus, and that was, I believe it was 3 days, 2 nights and 3 days at my house. I'm not kidding. Like, where he was in a spare room, he was drooling all over the floor in the bathroom downstairs, and then he was on the couch the next day, like all day, all night. Like, was he playing that up? Does that even seem possible?
Yes, it does. Especially knowing E and knowing his personality. Yes.
Yeah.
I think if you're, generally like not a pussy, I don't think that would happen. But his reaction is not surprising. The way he reacted to that, because I specifically told him take like half.
You gave it to him, didn't you?
Yeah. Jay's emailing me like, is he gonna die? And I'm like, no, he's not gonna fucking die. He's fine.
Yeah. Dr. Amy knows.
Yeah, I do. I've been there. I've taken too much, and you're like, I'm clearly dying. There's no way I'm ever going to recover from this. But then you just have to remember that's quite literally no one has ever OD'd on weed, so you're going to be fine.
Yeah, it's literally impossible. No one has. I think statistically that's been proven. Like no one's ever died from it.
Impossible to do.
Yeah.
Just from like OD, like you're not, I suppose you could take too much and you could do something stupid and end up getting shot. Like, that's But
you could walk off a roof. He could have walked off a roof that day. Like he didn't know where he was. That is a really shitty feeling when you go, and you've gone over too much. You've done too much of something.
Yeah.
Like, and you're self-aware enough. Weed, I don't know. That's just not my jam. I don't like that feeling at all on weed. I wish I did, but I don't. But yeah, I was thinking with this one, does this look like a weed freak out? Like an edibles? Because that could be, I don't even know what other drugs this would be.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And this chick, I noticed see her with the mask. And dude, honestly, this just came across my...
This
algorithm.
Has to be old.
This could be old. I'm not even saying, I don't even have a story about this. It was just kind of funny. It came across my algorithm. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Why don't we watch it? So yeah, this could have been when people are freaking out because it doesn't look like all the seats are occupied. How does this chick not know what's going on? Is it possible she has headphones in and has no idea this animal is freaking out behind her?
We gonna fuck all night, bitch!
She looks like what?
All night, bitch!
Shoot her! Shoot her!
I said fuck all night, bitch! Bitch! We gonna fuck all night, bitch!
Yeah, this is probably during COVID because not all the seats are taken. Everybody appears to be forced to wear a mask. So this probably is an old video. That's funny.
Sucks for her that it's making the rounds again.
Yeah. You got to punch her in the face. I think you punch her in the face, and if that doesn't work, you hope the air marshal is responsible and gets up and shoots her face.
See, that is a situation where I would be looking around and I'd be saying to the sky waitresses, is anyone going to do anything? Like, what are you fucking people? I would not just be sitting there just like staring. I'd be like, hey, this person is literally having a meltdown. Can we do something, please?
Yeah. Or is there a guy that's supposed to stand up? Like if Rocky was there with you, wouldn't he be like, oh God, now I got to deal with this?
Well, that is what he would do. He would very much discourage me from saying anything.
Yeah. We all want to discourage our women from saying something, but it's hard to do. You guys get something in your head and you go for it. A lot of you.
Zero chance you're changing my mind.
Yeah, I could totally see you saying something. Here's a question for you, though. Would you want to be on one of those flights? Because I think I know what your answer would be, and it would be the same answer as me because we're basically the same person. See, okay, no. You would want to be on one of those planes?
Hang on. Let me.
So you could film it?
Yes, I think it'd be interesting to witness it so long as it didn't derail the flight. Now, if this happened like mid-air and then it was like, oh, we have to make an emergency landing and all of a sudden we're all fumble fucking around like delayed, that would piss me off. No, I don't want to be on a plane like this. This looks like it happened when they were still on the ground and boarding. That would be entertaining. I could get down with that.
Yeah, except I think by federal aviation law, don't they have to, anytime there's an incident, don't they have to deplane and then,
I mean,
which sucks, dude.
It does, but there weren't that
in
many on
general.
that plane. I mean, it's not like it was like a giant plane or anything. It depends on the circumstances, I guess. I'll just say that. But, with my luck, I'd probably be fucking sitting right next to him or some shit, and it would just be a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like, oh man, why don't I ever get on a cool flight where some guy brings a chickson on and now we all got to deal with it? Why don't I ever get to be on a flight where some fucking asshole goes absolute jit ham on the plane and I can't film it and go, why don't I ever get those cool flights? And then I was thinking, no, you, sir, suck at the airport. You want to be left alone. You don't want to look at anyone. Talk to anyone. Going through security sucks, and I'm not even carrying anything illegal. I just want to sit here, and it's like, just get me up in the air, get me down, and let's be done with this.
You're right.
And so
I generally agree with that.
Yeah, and so I at times there probably was a time, and those times like Derek and I have twice I've been on a plane and we've run them out of alcohol. That me, Troy, and T-Roy did that with Jack Daniels and vodka, and Derek and I and this fucking Indian business owner absolutely ran the plane out of beer. It was hilarious. Then I'm looking for an incident. We were having the time of our lives going to San Diego.
I was going to say, it also, flights. I think, depends on the situation. Like if I'm on my way to vacation and I have a connector flight, otherwise I'm going to miss my flight to Mexico, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. But if I'm like, I don't know, traveling down to Texas on a business trip, I might fuck around with it. And I might just be like, I got delayed because someone went jit ham on my flight. So be there tomorrow.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking the same thing. If I was on my way to my vacation, I'd be livid. If I was on my way home from the vacation, it's very much like I don't mind a plane crash. If I'm involved in a plane crash that kills us all, I'm totally cool with that. I look forward to that. But don't fucking do that on landing. Do it on takeoff. Don't make me fly 5 hours only to crash in a fiery hellscape.
Like the one imagine like the one that happened in DC or whatever. And it's like, you're literally about to fucking land. You've probably already texted your family that you landed because you're so confident that you're about to land because you're right there. And then some woman helicopter pilot just comes out of nowhere and you're all dead.
Yeah. Once they start messing with the flaps and they take the wheels down, it should be illegal to crash.
Yeah.
It should be a federal crime that at that point we're basically landed and you can't crash.
Yeah.
So, but then I was thinking, well, in fairness, there were probably some people on that flight on their way to vacation and some on their way home from vacation. Mm-hmm. So you can't win. But selfishly, for me, it's like, don't do that to me on my way to vacation.
True.
On the way home, you can, though.
Yes.
Anyway, we've spent a lot of time talking about AI. Speaking of videos, did you see the AI soccer game that took place in China the other day?
Was it AI or was it robots?
Robots. The robots.
Yes, I saw that.
My guess is they have a lot of AI in them. I think it's in here. Yeah, there they are. I don't know if they're ready for prime time yet. These guys, 4 teams of humanoid robots took on each other in Beijing in games of three guys aside. Let's see. Footage showed the robots struggling to kick the ball, stay upright. Let's see. Ching Hu, founder of Booster Robotics, surprised the robot players, said the competitions offer the ideal testing ground for humanoid robots. In the future, we may arrange for robots to play football with humans. Means we must ensure robots completely safe. All right, let's check them out. Let's see how far they've gone. Dude, the music sucks. You guy hates shit. Tripping.
It looks like fucking foosball. It looks like a bunch of foosball, like foosball in real life.
It's live foosball. Dude, that's a violation. Like? You can't be inside that ring on the kickoff. You gotta wait till it's
running into each other.
This is sort of like when I refed like 6-year-olds playing soccer.
I was just about to say it's like watching 4-year-olds play soccer.
Dude, seeing the guys eat shit like that.
Whoa.
This is like,
and the fact that they run out and like put them on stretchers too.
The stretcher part is the best. The best. I thought they were faking it first. Like, oh, they're doing what soccer players do where they come out with their magic spray and the guys pretend to be dead. Oh, gonna get it.
Hang on a second. This is so far down the line that they have refs that have Robo League logos on them.
Yeah.
And this is the product?
Yeah. And these guys are just, look at this guy. He's done.
Like, what's the stretcher for? Just carry the
carry
thing
him.
off.
No, we're pros. Take this very, very seriously. He's very injured. All right. Resume play.
And now they just lift him up.
Look at that poor guy.
What is the stretcher for?
I don't know. I mean, that guy looks like he's seriously injured. Would you go to this? Would you bet on this?
No, fuck no. Right. Fuck no. That is horrible. I'm not kidding you. This is a live action foosball game. That's like they only move like side and up.
Yeah.
And they're forever fucking running into each other because they probably can't distinguish between their own feet and the ball.
Look at where this video starts. See number 2 down here? See number 2?
Yeah.
Watch number 2.
Whoa.
That is a concussed man. Look at how fast his head bangs. Look at his feet. Oh shit. Oh shit, I got it. Yeah, I don't mind him being carted off.
Why does number 2 have such happy feet?
Number 2 is a problem. He does get back up. He's got the will. Is it always number 2?
And don't look. Wait. Can you rewind that?
Yeah.
Did the guy run in and push that robot over?
Yeah, he did.
He's holding him back.
The ref's like, all right, break it up, guys. Break it up. And then he's just like, you get the fuck out of here. Yeah, place the ball. Off you go. Like, this is a clear violation. You can't be inside the circle.
Look at him.
And they don't know what to do.
They made a robot sandwich.
You know, the guys that make robots are going to be super proud of this. Like, our guys killed it.
I was just about to say, I bet that they thought that this went off swimmingly.
Huge success. You're right. This is live action foosball. Oh, that guy eating shit over there is the best. What is he trying to do?
It's never not funny when people fall. And it's the same thing for robots. It is the same. It is funny to watch people fall, regardless of if they're real or not.
Yeah. Number 2, right out the gate, I feel like there's too many number 2s. He can't be this dominant on the field.
Oh, how bad is the goalie, I bet?
I don't even think they have a goalie.
They don't need it.
No, there's no goalie there.
Don't you think that robot the other day that was running down 7 Mile would have done better than this?
Yeah, I feel like
that robot seemed more mobile than these robots do.
But these guys might be on their own. The one on 7 Mile, I think, was remote control, wasn't he? Didn't he have an owner?
Yeah. Well, so fucking what, Mike?
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, if maybe all we need is remote control, so we have some control over them. And then it's like, if you put these guys, if they got really good though, if you put them in like a Lions jersey, and that was your football team, do you think that could work? If they were just like, yeah, they never get injured.
Yeah, send the robots out for kickoff. They need a few more minutes to catch their breath. Send out the fucking robots.
I got to see number 2 eat shit again. One last time. Oh, I got it. Nope. No, I don't. I don't got it. Yeah, I got to be taken off.
And why are their feet like that?
Why
are they blocks?
He gets up pretty well though, and he almost looks like he's embarrassed. Like here,
he does. The way he puts it, it's
fuck.
like, oh man,
God, I did it again. They're gonna know it's me too again. God, like right here, he's like, fuck.
This looks like the robot Special Olympics.
And what are these people in the background? What are they doing back there? What are you commenting on? Is it just like
they're probably controlling the fucking robots, Mike?
Yeah. Anyway, I love it. We need more robots doing stuff.
Oh, I think funny.
It's going to be one of those, those 3 hours later, you know those things. And it's going to be like the T2 guys just gunning us all down,
Yeah.
It's going to be those guys eating shit and us laughing at them. And then 3 minutes later.
Someone said they walk by like Biden.
Yeah, they sort of do. They have a little Biden to them. They do. Not bad. What did you think yesterday? Like, almost like right when we started doing the show, the UPenn reached an agreement with the Trump administration.
I saw that.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
I think this is fantastic news.
It is.
In fact,
it is. I mean, that is like get shit done.
Yeah. Are you tired of winning yet?
No, I'll never be.
This is kind of what they mean by winning. Let's see. University of Penn will block trans athletes from female sports teams and erase the records set by Bill Thomas. I just call him Bill now. I don't even play the game of like Leah.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, William Thomas, Bill. The 6'4" man that was whipping his dick out in the locker room with the girls. Yeah, that Bill Thomas. So this is part of an agreement with the federal government. The Department of Education said the agreement comes as part of the administration's broader restrictions on trans people as it steps up its efforts to ban trans athletes from competing in women's sports nationwide and serving in the military. Bill Thomas won the 22 NCAA National Women's Championship in the 500-yard freestyle. Penn has always follows and continues to follow Title IX and the applicable policy of the NCAA regarding trans athletes. President J. Larry Jameson said, except, the problem is, Larry, you couldn't identify what a woman was.
Right.
See where the problem comes in? Like, we followed Title IX. Well, yeah, you can say that if you make no differential between men and women.
Right.
That's your problem here, pal. So no, you did not protect women's sports. You didn't protect women in certain spaces. That's not what you did, Larry. Not at all. So
Cut it out, Larry. And you know what's so offensive about this entire thing is it wasn't even just that he came in and beat all of these women. That's bad enough. But they were forced, like literally against their will, to be in the locker room with that dude. And if they were to speak up about it, they were threatened with like, you're going to be known as a transphobe for the rest of your life and you're not going to be able to get a job.
Yep.
And, if you feel uncomfortable, we'll make arrangements for you to do something else. And it's like, hang the fuck on what?
Yeah.
Like that was what was so offensive about it is they had absolutely no regard for the women and how they felt in that situation. So to say that you protected women's sports is like the biggest fucking lie of all time. Because if you wanted to say that, you would have sat down with them, heard them out, and you would have done something then. But you threatened them instead because that was like, well, it was cool to do that back then. And now
totally
it's not. So
fuck
off.
And do you know how, I mean, I know you do, but do you know how strong you have to be in that position of being a student athlete taking on the university sports department, athletics department, presidents, the board.
And you've got a scholarship.
And you're on scholarship.
Yeah.
Like, the point of college is to kind of find your voice, learn how to see other perspectives perhaps, or how to research. Like, you're still learning, you're still growing up. To be put in that and like, you're on your own was the message.
Yeah.
And that shit, like you brought it up, like I think they mailed the trophy to Riley Gaines where it was like, we're going to let Bill's going to carry the,
they didn't have one.
No,
You're right.
They didn't have 2 third place or second place trophies. Right. And so it was like, well, obviously we're giving it to Bill.
Right.
She's a much better person. And so we want the picture with Bill holding the trophy, and then we'll just ship yours to you. Don't worry about it. You'll still get it. But God, is she still whining about that? Ugh. Will this bitch ever stop whining? It pissed me off.
She just got beat by a dude. Who cares?
Yeah. I saw that fucking absolute sack of human shit. Keith Olbermann tweeted out yesterday.
Did
something.
He block me? I don't see his tweets anymore. I wonder.
I haven't seen his in a while either. But he tweeted something like, "Oh, whiny Gaines. I hope the records reflect now that you went from 5th place to 4th place. Congrats. Something snarky,
Yeah, that's
shitty.
actually like also kind of a big deal. BTW.
And it doesn't matter if it's a big deal to him or not. What place did you come in something you cared about, Keith? How insulting. Here's the reality of this too, which was so unfair. The damage to those is not just the college experience that they'll remember forever. I remember my grandma kind of being a twat when I had chickenpox when I was 5, right? That stayed with me. Like, what do you think those girls' experiences having to go through this and the school going, pound sand with your concerns. Their lives were threatened. They were bullied without mercy. Thank God Riley Gaines stood up as much as she did. What a brave girl. And to not understand how brave that was, especially early on, like, the winds have changed, no doubt, in the last year. But before that was brutal what she went through. Totally unfair.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she was like, remember she got like, they like swarmed her in and like she had to like hide at a college campus.
Yeah.
And the college campus was like not interested in helping her out at all.
Flat kidnapping is what that was. If you're held against your will, that is kidnapping. And that's what she was for hours, by the way. Hours. And that was from the trans mob at something she was just doing a speaking engagement at and had to be locked away. I believe that's the one where one of the like a school janitor was clocked over the head trying to shuffle her around too. I could be mistaken about that, but I think. But the other thing is those actual women, right? That would have won or placed were denied their glory moment. Okay.
Yep.
Right now, Amy, you are multitasking, watching dance that is so irrelevant as far as the world goes, as far as the greater society goes, and you care. You care. It matters to those girls that are high school age. This is their moment in this moment in time. The vast, overwhelming majority of us are never going to have the LeBron game-winning moment in our lives, but we all have these like remember back moment when I hit that shot and we won this stupid game that no one cares about. It doesn't go down in the books, but it's our moment. It's our little thing. And you took that from those girls. You took recognition, their names in the paper properly, bragging rights with their other competitors. You took that stuff, and I'll show you. Even for me, I still have this here, right? This is from 1997, the NFL Air It Out tournament, division winner, championship trophy. Like, it's still, I'm like, hell yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
NFL Air It Out champions.
Totally.
I have proof. This is proof. I was on a field. I was wearing cleats. I throwed the ball. I catched the ball, and we win.
Yeah.
I win.
You did, Mike.
I win. I wasn't always a sack of shit. I win. This couldn't matter less. But it does to the 5 of us that played on this team.
Right.
It did. And I still have it 20 years later. Like,
right. Yeah. And so, I mean, same thing. Like, I've got my Miss Teen Michigan trophy somewhere because I placed in the top 15. And I found it the other day.
Keith would have wanted you to be in the top 16, you whiny bitch.
Yeah,
if some guy beat you out.
Right.
What are you going to whine about it, you bitch, baby?
Well, Mike, I was thinking while I was multitasking and watching this dance competition, they do, you compete for title with your solo. So like if you win, then you're the title winner. And that's like the big thing that you win at this nationals competition. That's simplifying it, but that's generally what it is. And there's boy dancers, obviously, but they have a category for women for the title, and they have a category for men for the title, even though there's way less men. In fact, sometimes they're the only ones in that category. So they're only competing against themselves and they get first place. But what they don't do is say, yeah, put them in with the chicks, because want to know why? The chicks would never win because boys are stronger. Like, you might not think boy dancers about like them being that good, but I'm telling you, boy dancers, if they've made it to this point where they're at a nationals competition, they are stronger. They can do way more impressive shit. Like, they will win every single time. So they separate them. And sometimes that means that the boys don't have anyone that they compete against. And that's okay. What you don't see them saying, well, we're going to sacrifice all of the women so that the dude can compete against somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. My sister was a really good soccer player. She was a very good high school soccer player. She ended up going on and playing at Oakland University. Was a very good soccer player. We would have fucking destroyed her if she went, if she played with G and I on the boys team. Like, it's not even, she was a great little athlete, went to college and played. She would have gotten destroyed. And we all knew that. I think of the Olympics with I love the snowboarding competition. I loved the flying tomato and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you had the chick that basically turned her back on America and competed for China, the 18-year-old girl from California. And she was so dominant over the other girls. She really was. And you're this close to eating shit on every run. But I remember watching the girls do their run, right? They're on the half pipe, whatever that is, or what do they call that in snowboarding? But anyways, they're on that and they're going, and I'm like, I remember seeing them before the men, and I hadn't seen the men compete in 4 years. It was like, yeah, whatever. And I'm watching these girls, and specifically her, and just going, this girl's really good. She could hang. She's killing these girls. She looks athletic. She's pulling off some amazing tricks. It was really cool to watch. And then she won. And then that night, the men's competition came on. And it was like, oh yeah. You mean the guys that fly out of that half pipe 40 feet in the air and do 14 rolls in the air to her too?
Right.
Oh yeah, that's it. And it's like, thank God I watched the girls before the men's, and I got some, and it was enjoyable. But it was like, there was no competition there. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Who would even?
It's like. Go ahead.
It's like what? No. Just lastly, the fact that Leah Thomas, that Riley Gaines tied Leah Thomas, speaks volumes about how incredible this 5'3", 5'5", Riley Gaines is compared to this 6'4" grown ass man, Bill Thomas. Fully developed man
who went through puberty and was even on the men's swim team at one point. Like, fully fucking developed man.
Yeah.
And she tied
him literal to the thousandth of a second. Touch him. That's amazing in and of itself.
Incredible. It really is. When Riley Gaines was having that disagreement with what's her face there, she's the
Simone Biles.
I think I commented on a story on X, but hey, Simone Biles, there's a reason why you don't compete in the pommel horse and the rings. Like, FYI, those are men gymnastics things, because women aren't fucking strong enough to do the pommel horse and the rings. So if you think that there's no difference between men and women and you're hating on Riley Gaines, I want to see you do the pommel horse and the rings in the next Olympics.
Is it the pummel or the pommel?
Pommel, whatever the fuck.
No, as soon as you said, no, that's a great point. And I'm pissed. I hadn't thought of it. I didn't realize. What? Yeah, I know you are. Shut up. I didn't know the chicks didn't do that. Yeah, they can't do that ring thing and sit out there for
kidding me?
2 hours like those guys do.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And then the pommel horse, as you call it.
And it's just like, I don't think men do the balance beam because they're not like little dainty things,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's a great point. Hadn't thought of that. Well, here's is this someone from the Department of Education maybe who was talking briefly about this yesterday, about the apology coming?
The university will be sending a personal apology to every female athlete who was forced to compete against a man.
Yep.
Be like, you can deduct something off of my tuition too. Thanks.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not good enough. Sorry.
Yeah,
An apology,
yeah.
a written apology to these girls is not good enough.
Right.
You had a duty to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
You had the civil lawsuits, the civil suits that should come from this, and there are some already. Let's be clear. The only reason they're succumbing to this is because there's $170 million in federal funding on the line that they need their grubby little hands on. That's what they want. And Trump's administration is like, I'm not fucking around. You're not getting this money unless you knock that shit off. And they're like, fine.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how married they were to that position that they took of, oh, we just want equality and this and that. No, you don't. No, the fuck you don't. Because if that were the case, you would go screw your 170 million. Keep it. We know we're doing the right thing. We did the right thing. But they know that that's not the case. They knew it then that wasn't the case. I mean, it is absolute insanity that they let that happen at a prestigious, like, fucking what are those schools called? Ivy League school. Like, it's insane that it happened there. Yeah.
And people, why do you even care so much about this? What do you, that stupid argument? Why do you care about other people's genitalia so much? I don't care about Bill Thomas's dick and balls. That's not what this is about.
Yeah. Bill Thomas, he can, and to swim. Bill Thomas, he can swim his happy little penis off. I don't fucking care. He just can't swim with the chicks. That's the whole point.
He did. He was ranked 462nd in the nation when he did swim on the men's UPenn team. Fact.
Yeah.
406. I wouldn't have even known there were 462 male swimmers in the country at the collegiate level.
Fact that he was on the UPenn men's team. It wasn't even like he's been swimming with women in high school. He was on the men's team at UPenn and woke up one day and was like, I think I'd do better over there. So I'm actually going to go onto that team. Is that cool? All right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a chick now. I'm going to throw on one of those women's bathing suits. No, everything points to.
You think he's regretting it now? You think he's regretting transitioning just so he could fucking swim?
I don't know that he got anything removed or took anything. He might have taken hormones, but he didn't cut his giant dick off.
No,
that he was helicoptering in the locker room with the girls. He's an autogynephilia guy is what it sounds like. A male, this is part of it, sorry, a man's sexual arousal when he thinks of himself as a woman. That has always existed. That's what this guy sounds like. So,
and it's like, it's not enough for him to wear a fucking thong at night, or when he goes to work. Like, he has to take over women's spaces too.
Yeah, let's hear him real quick. This is from an older
we respect Leah as a woman, as a trans woman, whatever. We respect her identity. We just don't think it's fair. You can't really have that sort of half support where you're like, oh, I respect her as a woman here, but not here. They're using the guise of feminism.
Okay, we don't respect you then.
No, they were pretending to respect you as a woman, Bill.
Yeah. If you can't fucking be both, then I guess I don't respect you, because I was trying to respect you in some aspect of your life, just not this other part.
Yeah.
But I guess you don't want that split support. So then fine, I don't fucking respect you.
Yeah.
Dude.
When they pretended to be nice to you, and when you walked around with a purse and dyed your hair and threw on a mini skirt and walked around campus, yes, they pretended to view you as a woman then. They played along. They played along with your fantasy there, Bill.
Look at his shoulders.
Yeah, he's a men's swimmer. Collegiate men's swimmer. Have you ever known a men's collegiate swimmer? I have.
Absolutely
they all look like that.
Insane.
Yeah, they pretended that, but they treated me like a woman sometimes. But yeah, except in extremely exclusive women's spaces, Bill. That's where they ran into a problem. And that wasn't enough for you. You demanded more.
Or whatever, we respect her identity. We just don't think it's fair. You can't really have that sort of half support where you're like, oh, I respect her as a woman here, but not here. They're using the guise of feminism to sort of push transphobic beliefs. And I think a lot of people in that camp sort of carry an implicit bias against trans people, but don't want to, I guess, fully manifest or speak that out. And so they try to just play it off as this sort of half support.
They think about how twisted feminism, quote unquote feminism,
assuming
has become.
that's a tranny too.
You know, in order to exclude anybody in the trans category, you have to reduce women to reproductive capacity, which is, in my opinion, extremely anti-feminist. I don't want to put those women down either, and I know you don't want to either, because I see pain.
See how they want to take it away from women who have vagines and are able to give birth, like just those are women to you? How offensive to actual women.
I see pain, and the pain is coming from somewhere. It's not you, though. It's the patriarchy. And how can we get people to see?
Ugh. Dear Schuyler, I don't know what that show is. I don't even know when that's recorded. Why do you care so much? Why do you care so much? Because it took the blink of an eye to go from relative normalcy that the whole country, because I don't give a shit what the rest of the world's doing, the whole country recognized how things were, to removing healthy body parts from children and a lot of people cheering it on.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye, it went from, will you respect my pronouns, to I'm going to crush in a woman's space and in a woman's field at a national swimming competition.
And I mean, we all saw it coming. If you go back and you listen to very old episodes of the Detroit cast,
yep.
You and Jay would talk about it all the time and about how Isis like just missed out on being able to be a trans Special Olympics runner.
That's right.
You know,
Yes.
like he really missed out on that. Like he's a couple IQ points too high to be in the Special Olympics, and he just missed out on the transgender thing. Otherwise, he would have been a phenomenal athlete. But we all saw that coming. And I think, you know, Jay would say it all the time. He's like, it's only a matter of time before some dude decides, I could do better over there. And, you know, he's not going to have transitioned or anything. He's just going to be a regular old dude. And we see it. It's almost as frequent as teachers sleeping with their students.
Yeah, it is. It is. And they don't care about these actual people. I don't know what points they think they're getting. Like, you know, to your point, if it was truly something to stand on, a principled take, you'd eat that 170 million and go, we're going to have to take this in the ass for the next 3 years. And then hopefully this administration gets out of here and the adults can get back in charge and we can start doing this again. And then you'll go down in the history books.
And you're UPenn. You've got some pretty rich alumni. You could raise 170 million if you fully believed in this hill that you wanted to die on a few years ago.
What's their endowment at UPenn? Because this isn't some shit school. UPenn is an Ivy Leaguer. It's probably got a huge endowment. Could weather that if they wanted.
How much? Guess.
What
you think the endowment is?
Is it in the billions?
Mm-hmm.
$2 billion. I know like Yale is like 50 billion.
22.3 billion as of June 2024. So if they wanted to stand on this principle, they could stand on this principle, but they don't want to. So.
Yeah. No. Interesting. So they've got $22 billion in an endowment, and they can't eat 170 million on principle to stand on something they firmly believe in. Well, you pretended to care about your girls. You didn't. I hope the civil suits fly. And if you remember listening to us years ago talking about that's when this ends, the lawsuits need to come. That's what needs to change this, is people need to, these schools need to feel that. And if you bankrupt one of these universities, so be it. So be it. And I hope all these girls do, you know, who took a knee on this stuff and tried to be cool and tried to be nice, didn't want to be an asshole. Like, it threw their lives into disarray, period.
I know.
It did. And parents didn't feel comfortable standing up to that machine, the bully that machine turned into.
You're insane. It was so insane. I mean, it was such a crazy fucking time.
Yeah. And you know what the damage is? Because now it's like, yeah, that was cool for a couple of years. Remember that in 2025 when we were women? Yeah, well, some of those girls were really affected. And you know what? All the, oh my God, so brave, hashtag support, hashtag love. Love trumps hate. All that bullshit goes out the window.
Love trumps hate.
All that bullshit goes out the window. And now you just have broken people who have to live with this for the rest of their lives. I always bring up Chloe Cole.
Yeah.
It's just tragic that happened in America in the 2020s to anybody.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about yesterday in terms of like, you know, you go to a doctor hoping that they're going to like actually help you. You don't go to the doctor and tell them what you think your diagnosis is. And they're like there to affirm you and everything that you say, because guess what? I didn't go to medical school. So I don't know what the repercussions are of taking hormones that are going to totally fuck up my puberty and cutting my breasts off as a healthy teenager.
Can you imagine?
I'm relying on you as a doctor to tell me that, not just be this gender affirming care physician where I go in and say, I feel like a dude today. And you say, okay.
Can you imagine?
That's not being a doctor. Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Dude, 10 years after you graduated is when this was. Can you imagine having, you know, and getting a double mastectomy for no reason?
No.
I mean, dude.
It's insane. And I mean, I used this example before, and I think someone made fun of me, but I went through a very big tomboy phase from 6th to 8th grade. I was a dancer my whole life till 6th grade, decided I wanted to quit dancing, and I started playing basketball, and I looked like a Hanson brother, and I did all sorts of like boy activities, and I started dressing like a tomboy. And then in 8th grade, I came out of that. I started getting boobs and liking boys, and I went back to dancing, and I've been dancing ever since. And so like, I think about that time. If that were now, my mom probably would have been pressured to take me to see someone about what I was going through. And do I want my puberty to be paused because I think I'm a boy?
Yeah.
Instead, my mom was just like, yeah, let's let her go through her Hanson phase and let her play basketball and she'll fucking grow out of it.
Yeah. I wonder how many kids will look back thinking just that. Like, I wonder if that was just a tomboy phase.
Yeah.
There's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of those exact cases.
And like, when was dressing up not enough? Because if you feel like you want to dress up and dress like a woman, fine. What the fuck? There were cross dressers, you know, that's what we used to call them. But then that wasn't enough anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why, because no matter what you do, you're never going to be a woman, because as much as that person we just played doesn't want to admit it, women do have a very specific thing that we can do that men can't do. And yeah, sure, there are women who have medical issues who can't do that. That doesn't mean that that's one, the norm, or two, that she still is a woman. She has that capacity to do that, but she has an illness that makes it so she can't do that. So it's just such a disingenuous argument when people say that. And so I just don't understand, why can't you just play dress up? Why do you have to take the hormones? Why can't you just be a tomboy?
Yeah. I look at it like the phases through society that we see, like things you think are really cool now that just won't be. You won't see it that way in 10 years.
Yeah. You wish you didn't get that tattoo or
totally.
You know.
And the fact is, tattoos is a good one, because you're going to get to a point probably in a decade where so many people have gone that route and gotten sleeves and all tatted up, that the true rebel is going to be the guy that doesn't get a tattoo. And then that guy's going to have a hit record and everybody's going to wish they didn't have a tattoo. And it's going to be cool to not have a tattoo. See how that works?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, I remember when that was the thing. You know,
yeah,
hey, I'm a girl.
Tattoos are cool, though.
Tattoos are cool, but to what extent? Like, I remember when I was growing up, girls getting the back tattoo, tramp stamps, and then it became cheesy in a way where it's like, oh yeah, I got one. I got a tramp stamp too.
Yeah.
You know, and it became, and like, I don't have any problem with it, but it's like, who would have thought when that was going on in the 90s, early 2000s, because that was believed to be cool, rebellious.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, it became kind of a joke, a punchline. you don't want to get it to be a punchline where it's like, oh yeah, the guy that thinks he's a girl. Like, that's all cute if you have that phase for a couple of years in high school, and you're brave and you're stunning, you're getting clicks and likes for that behavior. But it's not so funny when you remove healthy body parts.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it's like, look what you've done, you know? Good luck fixing those. And is UPenn going to be there to support those people? No, they're not. They're going to do what they did to Chloe Cole and act like she's Satan herself.
Yeah, right.
You know? Moving on to other things. See Diddy?
I did see that, Mike.
Yeah. It's like
not guilty on the big ones.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. You followed this case more than I did.
I did.
His children are super happy. Cheering. Would you ever look at dad the same?
That would be tough. That would be
like,
tough.
dude, if it came out, and maybe that's all they've known their whole lives. It's like, but my dad likes he likes beating off other men, bang his girlfriend.
Like they don't, their dad doesn't like go work at the auto factory and then come home. Like he's not, and then you accidentally find like his Playboy. I feel like that's the equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Like you accidentally finding that your dad has a bunch of Playboys under it. That is like the same as these kids finding out that their dad's a fucking sex freak.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it would be weird. Like if I found out now, like, growing up, my dad was the cuck of the neighborhood. And like all the other neighborhood dads in the block were coming over and banging my mom, and my dad was watching and
like dressing up and playing dress up as Kobe or Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that'd be weird. I don't think I could look
I'm just glad Kobe wasn't alive to hear that. I think he'd be disappointed.
What was that story? Someone
I think Cassie said that Diddy when she was testifying that he would want to role play and pretend that he was either Kobe or Jordan. So there's that. And listen, so
what does that mean though? He put on a jersey and dribbled around the room? Like what? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe like wanted to be called Kobe. Who fucking knows? Like, it's so weird. It's so weird.
That is weird.
But this is probably an unpopular take, especially if this were to get cut and you were not to listen to all of my words. Diddy's a piece of shit. Okay, there's no doubt about that. Like
because he smacked Cassie in that video.
He's an abuser. He's clearly an abuser. Like he abused the fuck out of Cassie.
Probably murdered people too. But
yeah, and he's not a good person. But I have a new appreciation for the criminal justice system bringing charges against somebody and proving those beyond a reasonable doubt. And they charged Diddy with RICO. And he's the only one they charged with RICO. RICO is like a racketeering conspiracy charge. Like conspiracy by definition involves more than one person. So for you to charge RICO and he's the only co-conspirator and it wasn't a RICO case. So like all of his charges, in my opinion, like people, I think that he was on trial for what he did to Cassie in that video, and he's not. Like the statute of limitations was up on that. So the best they could do was, the sex over state lines or whatever, prostitution over state lines. And
he was guilty of, so he was found not guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, and 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Those were the ones that carried a life sentence, potentially. Guilty of the charge on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution related to Cassie Ventura and the other girl, Jane, another doe.
Yeah. Who I think is 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend, I think.
Okay.
But because, what he did to Cassie in certain points was awful. But there was a lot of evidence that was presented of Cassie texting Diddy saying how much she loved the freak offs. She wanted to do them. She couldn't wait to do them again. She wanted to do them for the rest of her life. And so it's like, when you have that evidence, how can you say that you coerced her across state lines for this purpose? Like she clearly at the time wanted to do it. was it, did she want all of it? Did she want to get her ass beat in the hotel? No, but Diddy wasn't charged with that, right?
Yeah.
So like, you just have to look at the charges and the evidence that they brought. And I think it's a just verdict, given what he was charged with. But, you know, there's no doubt he's not a good person. But whoever fucking thought he was, my God.
No, a lot of people didn't think that. Like, the Cassie thing is tough. It's really hard to watch that video.
Yeah, video is horrible.
Hotel, him throwing a tantrum and throwing a vase in the hotel, like all of that, horrible. Well,
hair, just like horrible shit.
Horrible shit. Seeing a girl with bruise on her back and a gash on her eye, like all horrible. But you stuck around for years for fame and money. Period.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. And
she dated him for like 11 years.
Right. And,
so,
and those parties, like, it's hard, I think, for normal people, which 99.9% of us are, to understand, like, who those people are, how they behave, and what was going on in these exclusive freak off parties that everybody wanted to go to, and it escalating to, like, what creepy sex those people are into. Not my fucking business. Keep the kids out of it and leave the beating women part out of it. And I don't give a fuck if they're hiring dudes to come bang chicks in front of them and have homo parties galore. Like, hey man, you guys do what you want to do. I don't care. I don't need some moral cop coming in and telling me how to behave and whatnot. But now it's gotten to this point, and you want us to go, oh yeah, I mean, she was a poor girl enduring these horrible sex parties. It's like, yeah, it sounds crazy to you. You've never been involved in something like that, but I just have a hard time feeling bad for you. Like, I've told the story. You guys make fun of me because I wore the red fanny pack because the pants didn't have fucking pockets when I dressed up as Uncle Sam and at the Playboy Mansion. Here. Right? There's one of my pictures. There you go.
Oh my God.
See the chick in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have a photo album. There's me in the grotto.
Yeah.
There's me and David Spade and Amy. Like, I went there, and I've been to hundreds of parties, right? I've been to many, many parties in my life. They were usually at a friend's house. We got fucked up. If you were lucky, you scored with a chick in the back bedroom. That type of shit at the Playboy Mansion and the type of shit that would have been going on at a freak-off party at Diddy's are not the same planet.
Correct.
Not the same planet.
Right.
It's hard to understand when you're at a party like the Playboy Mansion and all the chicks are nude. Every one of them. They're walking around nude. When Amy and I ducked into that bedroom.
Not me.
Not this Amy. My girlfriend at the time, it was in the room with the video games there. It was the one where Dave Navarro shot up heroin and squirted blood all over the bathroom. That was
sweet.
The wing I was in the house. And it was like, oh, I got to get blown in the Playboy Mansion, you know, like, duh. So we ducked into this room, and that guy comes in the door with a camera, right? And he's got like shoulder cameras. This is 2002. 2002, he's just like, go ahead. Like, it was so common. Like, imagine that you're hooking up at a high school friend's house, right? Parents are out of town, and you and some swinging dick are in the other room, and some guy comes in filming. He's already filming, and he's like, just go on like I'm not here. Crazy. You'd be like, fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Which is what I did. I went, dude, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, all right, cool, have fun. Leaves, and then came around into the other door leading into the room and was just trying to, like, this was so common in his world. So common that, like, dude, what are you, queer? You don't want me filming it? We're at the Playboy Mansion, pussy. Right. What are you doing? Why wouldn't I film this? So it leads me to believe, like, he was probably just going room to room looking for any activity going on at the Playboy Mansion.
For sure.
God knows where those tapes are. I wasn't about to be filmed on doing that. But so there were probably hundreds of people there that were fine with that. Yeah. Comfortable with that. I don't know. But So it's hard.
And you know, and I think Diddy thought he was maybe going home today.
Yeah. Nope. Sorry.
Which definitely didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, they were like, lower the bond and let's send him home on $1 million bond. It's like, yeah, he's close to a billionaire. $1 million bond means nothing. The judge, Judge Arun Subramanian, denied his bond, citing his propensity for violence. So he's going to remain in custody, which is fair. Usually, you know, when you talk about celebrity getting special treatment, you could make the argument like he's Sean Diddy Combs. Like, where's he going? He can't run off. He can't, you know, because they were like, oh, we'll turn over passports. We need him to be able to travel between Miami and LA and New York. And the judge was like, yeah, no, we all watched the video, you beating the shit out of Cassie. So no. But October 3rd, how do you feel? They're like, oh, he faces up to 20 years on these counts.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get 20. From what I was reading, it sounds like maybe the max he can get is 10 and maybe
sounds like they're going to ask for 4 to 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then half of that. And then he's already
served.
He's served like 20 months, I think.
Really?
Like he's been in there. Yeah, he's been in there a minute. So, you know, he's probably only got a couple years left at the end of the day. And so yeah, that's that'll be interesting. And then also in that same vein, Mike, the Idaho killer took his guilty plea today in court officially.
I saw him stand up and say yes. By the way, wrapping up, I think it's October 3rd.
October 3rd is the sentencing.
Is the sentencing for P. Diddy. So he's going to sit in there for half the football season.
Yeah, it sucks. That's what I would be thinking. Like, damn.
Think about the TVs he must have back at home. And he's like, what? I got to watch on this 13-inch pile of shit.
I know.
No DirecTV. I guarantee he doesn't have DirecTV.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The NFL ticket or whatever.
Probably
which would
not.
Suck. That would be.
You're just stuck with whatever the game of the week is.
Oh, what a bummer. Oh, that would suck. No real-time bets. Couldn't do any of that. You're not getting shit internet. Like, dude, nightmare. He's been punished enough. We need to, like, this is cruel and unusual at this point. Like, we can't get him out of here before, like, fine. Have him in there through the preseason. That's cool. But,
I know when I heard October, I'm like, October?
Yeah.
It's July. What the fuck are you doing between now and then?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. It's crazy. So yeah, I saw Koberger. They were like, he speaks for the first time about the murders. And I was like, ooh, I'm willing to watch this. It was him going, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hardly speaking about the murders.
He has a super flat effect, which was weird. Like there was no emotion whatsoever. And you know, now that I've made my way into the true crime world, I'm discovering that there were people who thought that he was not guilty or was innocent. And while I was willing to like hear the information, I do know that they found DNA. So I mean, it was a pretty like strong case, I think.
You're talking about the sheath?
Yeah, the knife sheath that they found. Mm-hmm. But then so like there was like all this confusion, like why would he accept a guilty plea? Because he's fucking guilty. That's why. That's why you accept a guilty plea for 4 murders, is because you're guilty.
Here's the weird thing about this, though, because a lot of people are pissed and they're like, oh, this old hippie prosecutor with this plea deal, you know, he should be retiring, not taking a stupid plea deal on this. But I don't know, like the judge can say no to the plea and then the trial moves forward. And it's like, well, he already admitted to 4 guilty on murder. Like, wouldn't that be an awesome twist if the judge was like, yeah, no, I'm not accepting that. Trial moves on.
He actually can't do that unless he feels like
he was coerced into guilty plea.
Right. But you know, if he's sitting up there and saying, yeah, you know, I made this decision, I had enough time to make it. That's that. I mean, he accepted it, and and I think sentencing is in a couple of weeks. It's very sad. I mean, clearly, you know, the families are split on it, the victims' families, in terms of whether or not they wanted a plea. And, you know, I spoke about my own experience on a much lesser scale than this, but in terms of feeling like you don't get justice, I fully understand that. And I can only imagine how it must feel, because you probably wanted some type of for me, when during my experience, I wanted every detail. I wanted to know every detail.
Yeah.
It just was going to help me process what happened. It was going to help me move. Like, I needed to know everything that happened, why it happened. And to not get that must be very difficult in this kind of situation. Because you know he did it, but you don't know why. You don't know who his target was. You don't know if he was, plotting it for a while, which it sounds like based on the evidence he was. And what's also very sad is, he had killed the two girls upstairs, the two blondes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he was on his way out, Xana, she was awake. She had just gotten a DoorDash delivery, and she went to see what she was hearing, and he was coming down the stairs, and he chased her with a fucking knife.
Dude,
and
that is right out of a horror film.
I know. And she fell
right out of a horror.
fell face first in her bedroom when she was trying to run away. And then her boyfriend was asleep in the bed. And so then he went in there and killed him. And I think his is the blood that was seeping out of the house.
Oh, through the floor or whatever?
Through the foundation. And then he ran out of the house after that. So it's I think he probably went there I think I mentioned this, to just kill the one girl that lived there. Her friend happened to be visiting.
Do you know why? Did he have some beef with that girl? Did he have a crush on that girl? Or was it
my guess is he's probably some type of incel, who never gets any tail.
Yeah.
And, probably knew that this house, it's because he was around this house a lot, based on his phone. So it sounds like he was probably, staking it out, knew that young chicks live there. And then he was, I think you mentioned yesterday, he was majoring in criminal justice for his master's. He was very into, serial killers, how they got away with it, how they felt afterwards, that type of stuff. So honestly, I think at the end of the day, it was probably a mixture of an incel wanting to kill a girl that he would never be able to get in a million years and see if he can get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, the girl who was there, who was staying with Maddie, she had just moved out and she was there visiting because she wanted to show, I think she had just gotten a Range Rover and she wanted to show it off. So she came back to college to visit, and she just happened to be there and sleeping in the bed next to Maddie when this guy barges in. And so he kills both of them. And then on the way out, Xana and her fucking boyfriend. So it's he probably went in there thinking he was going to kill one person. He ended up killing 4.
Wow. Yeah.
And then he posted that fucking selfie. Or there's did you see that selfie? I got to pull it up.
I don't think so.
They found this on his phone.
In the house, or? No,
that when they got his devices, when they arrested him.
Yeah.
This was on his phone, taken the next day after the murders. One second, let me share my screen.
Ugh. Why do they always have a look?
And where is your fucking
eyes.
shower curtain? Where's your shower curtain?
Yeah. There's something in the eyes.
Look
Do I have eyes like that? When you look at me,
no.
You don't have eyes like that.
Dead black eyes.
Yeah, dead black, soulless shark eyes.
I mean, this is hours after brutally murdering 4 people. He takes this fucking thumbs up photo.
Yeah. Wouldn't you love an explanation for that?
And then,
what are you thinking? Have you ever taken that photo? Honestly, have you ever like mission accomplished almost?
It's insane. No, it's so fucked up. And then, the way that they caught him, well, I think they kind of knew they were circling in on him based on his car and some other things, but, they worked with the trash pickup people in Pennsylvania, which is where his dad which is where his parents live and where he's from. And he was home visiting on Christmas break or, Thanksgiving break. And so they worked with the trash pickup people. The trash pickup people completely emptied their truck, so they didn't have anything else in it. and went as if they were picking up trash like it was a normal day, and went by the Koberger's house, picked up the trash that they had outside, put it in their truck, and then drove it off and handed it to the FBI. And so the FBI found a Q-tip that had DNA that matched the father of the DNA that was on the knife sheath. So that was how, because you can tell, like, it's not a perfect match, but you can say, like, oh, I have enough to know that this DNA is the DNA of the perpetrator's father or the perpetrator's mother or the sister or something. Like, it's not like, so they were able to figure out that, okay, the DNA we have matches the dad or matches the son of this DNA we got from the trash. And so then they were able to arrest him, tested his DNA, and he was the one that
How long was it from the murders before they pulled him over? Because wasn't he driving with his dad or something?
Yeah, they pulled him over a couple times on his drive back from Washington to Pennsylvania.
That's right.
And I kind of feel like that was on purpose. Like they were just
that's in. Right. They had eyes on him.
Yeah. They knew that was the guy because he had done a bunch of shady shit. Like he got a new license plate and like changed out the license plate.
That's right.
And today they said,
if you remember, Amy, at the time, there were people really pissed off. Like, how have they not found the guy? Why aren't we getting updates? And that was Idaho. And people were really, really, really putting pressure on. I remember vaguely, because it goes back a couple of years now, talking a lot of shit online about the authorities, and almost like they were a bunch of Barney Fifes, didn't know what was going on, and they couldn't figure. And it was like, they knew a lot and they were keeping quiet about it. And I think that they pulled him over on purpose to kind of get like a demeanor check.
For sure.
Stuff like
where's
that.
he going? Who's he with? Does he have stuff in his car?
Yeah.
And I guess they said today that his car was spotless, like taken apart spotless. Like there was nothing in it.
Yeah.
It was so he
crazy.
And of course he's fucking guilty. Like, of course he is.
Yeah. Yep. And he admitted it. So
yeah. And I think while I can totally understand that it doesn't feel like justice, I think, the fact that you don't have to go through this trial was going to be like 2 or 3 months long. And then, the appeals afterwards, and he's sitting on death row, which is an automatic appeal. And then you've got to go through that. And it's just like, for what?
Well, there's something deflating about that, like because everyone of us got kind of tied into a story, and then to see it was such an abrupt, like ending. It's like you and I both agree. Oh, I'd rather be I'd rather be put to death like next Tuesday than spend the remainder of my life in a prison cell. That's worse for people like us.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, I don't care about the cost of it. When something garners attention nationally like this and is front page news in virtually every paper in America and probably internationally for how gruesome it was, how young the victims were, what the girls looked like, let's be honest, cute blonde college girls, they should have pushed forward with this and gone, no, there's no plea deal with this.
I mean, but
who cares about the money? Who cares?
I don't think it's about the money. They were ready to go. I mean, the trial, they were starting with jury selection in a couple weeks. They were ready to go. I mean, they've spent a lot of the money already, to be completely honest. They switched jurisdictions because of the media. Like they've done a lot. They've spent a lot of money, but at the end of the day, you risk there being some random ass person on the jury who digs their heels in and they're like, nope, I'm not going to find him guilty. And then what?
Do you think that was the concern? That
I don't think
could
it was
be one lone. Like,
I don't think it was the main concern, but if you have the ability to secure 4 guilty verdicts that carry mandatory life sentences and you cannot appeal them, why wouldn't you take that versus risking going to a trial? Maybe something happens where, an appellate issue pops up and he's going to automatically get an appeal. He's automatically going to get turned over on appeal because, someone fucked something up during the jury and then they have to do it again. Or someone, gets on the jury that decides to hang it, and then they have to do it all over again. There's just so many risks and things that can happen during the life of a trial. And then you have to deal with appeals because you're going to get automatic appeals. Whereas with this plea deal, he has to agree, like, you don't get any appeals. This is it. It's 4 life sentences, done. See ya fucking never. Bye.
Yeah. No, I get it. But, hearing that they didn't consult with as far as I know, they didn't consult with the family, which is,
it sounds like they did, but it wasn't what I would want. It sounds like they were made aware of it on a Friday that it was a possibility. And it sounds like they got a letter on Monday that was like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Not the best way to handle it. I think you take a little bit more time to sit with the family and explain to them why you think this is a good decision and try to get them on board. You don't just send a letter. That's just shitty. But at the same time, it's not up to the family either,
No, it's not. But 100% of the time, they get their input on stuff. Mm-hmm. I know me personally, as an emotional person, I would feel that trial too much. I'm the guy bury my head in the sand. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to hear what they did to my brother, my sister. I don't want to hear. I would feel that and live that in the moment. It'd be like, oh, he's going to rot in fucking jail for the remainder of his life. Psychopath. Good. Sign it. It doesn't, because it's not like you'd get the amazing justice of when this is over, a wrong is going to be righted and my family comes back. My daughter comes back. No.
And he wasn't going to tell you what happened, by the way. He wasn't going to take the stand and just tell you why he did what he did. That wasn't going to happen. You weren't going to get those kinds of answers. And we're never going to know that unless he decides to talk to the media.
Yeah, and people are saying that he'll talk to the media. Probably those people
probably can't wait.
Probably, but it doesn't do us any good if he dances around it. It's like, no, dude. And I saw that judge today was like, oh, you are saying you fucking did this, dude. That no one talked you into this. This isn't some angle. No. You are admitting this is, I killed these 4 people. That's the end of discussion. This isn't hey, just to save my life. I'm willing to say I did it. I didn't really do it, but I'm willing to say I did.
Right.
No, I want you. And that's what, the quote today of yes, that he did. So if you get that interview, it's gotta be explain, but you're talking to a crazy person. You're talking to a psychopath,
Honestly, I think that's probably because I think, this is just a plain fucking guess. I have no idea. And I'm not a doctor, so what the fuck do I know? But I would imagine that this whole process is part of it for him too. I think he had to have known that while his goal was to get away with it, there was a possibility that he wasn't going to. And I think that, well, okay, then can I get off during trial? Okay, well, then can I get them to pull the death penalty? Okay, well, then I'm going to do a bunch of interviews. And then I think this is all part of it for him.
Maybe
it's all kind of a game for him. I feel like
I wasn't giving, that could be now. I wasn't giving him that much credit. I think this is one of those people that everything we've heard, especially early on, was this guy thinks he's smarter than everybody. And he's been doing research, the whole criminology background, the science background. This was his thing. I'm a mastermind. These people are bumbling fools, and I'm going to show how easy it is to get away with it. The thought never crossed his mind of not being able to get away with it, because he thought, the mistake criminals make is they're not thinking about this, this, and this. He knew what are all the trappings, what are all the things that you run into that you don't expect to run into. He thought he had all those T's crossed.
Yep.
And he didn't. So I don't give him credit for thinking that, but maybe he was thinking like you say. And, I guess maybe we'll never know.
I think it could definitely be the case now. For sure. That's all kind of part of it. I think he gets off on, going to court and being able to wear a suit and a tie. And gaming the system. Like, can I get them to throw out the DNA, or can I get them to throw out the death penalty? And it's all just kind of a game for him now.
The cool thing is, what's going to be really disgusting to me is the trial of Luigi Mangione, right? Where he's got a fan group and chicks think he's hot. All that stuff would have driven me nuts with the Brian Koberger shit. Like, he's a douchebag. He's a nerd. He's a dork who thinks he's smarter than everybody. And he's a stupid white male. So you can't pin him as some hero, like, oh my God. It's going to be disgusting to watch the fangirling for Luigi. Like, if that one, he wants to take a guilty plea and they go, 40 years, asshole, and we don't have to put up with a trial, I'd be way more in favor of that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Mike, I've got some pretty exciting. Oh, wait, what?
What happened?
I just have like the spinny wheel of death on my screen for some reason, and I can't do anything with it. So the fact that you can
Diesel
still hear
online?
me is incredible.
Maybe Diesel's playing video games in the other room and it's throwing you off.
Seriously, like, what the fuck is going on?
Like we got. There's exciting news.
There is exciting news, Mike.
This better be exciting. Don't gin me up with.
I'm not. This is really exciting. I can't put it on the screen.
Alligator Alcatraz or something, or
no, it's not about that. I can't put it on the screen because I have the spinning wheel of death. But it says,
"Okay,
Amy, it's me, Brad Pitt. Shh, don't tell anyone my secret identity. Send me a $50 Apple gift card, and I will be sure to have assistant send you butthole picture. I am thanking you."
Dude, are you going to do it?
Wait, I'm like, can you believe that?
Are you sending a butthole? Are you sending a butthole picture? Or is he?
He's going to have his assistant send me one once I send him a $50 Apple gift card.
Okay. Dude, that's a bargain.
So,
do it.
I'm really excited. I mean, I feel like I could get more than $50 back for selling Brad Pitt's butthole, don't you think?
Hell yeah, you could. You could get way more for yours too. I mean, in fairness.
Think? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell, I'd give you 100. Dude, why all chicks aren't on OnlyFans, at least for feet? I don't know.
I know. Trust
me, for feet.
I know.
What is it with feet? No, why not hands?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, no one gives a shit about your hands, dude.
Yeah.
It's something about the feet. It's just weird to me.
I know. I don't necessarily get it either. But anyways, it's a pretty exciting time, Mike, that I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this podcast with you.
Well, you're not going to need to with all the money you're going to make.
Right. And I mean, I might marry Brad Pitt at the end of this. So see.
I almost want you to send the card to see if they'll send a picture back to you.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen, Mike. But pretty exciting.
Poor Paul. Yeah.
Did you see the story I sent you earlier?
Yeah, I did. Fuck, I forgot. No, I looked at it. What was it?
The world's most jealous woman makes her husband take a lie detector test every time he comes home. But the fucking pictures of them.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of her. I was like, is this a joke? She's disgusting.
It's not a joke, Mike. I am going to I gotta pull these pictures up. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Do you have something?
The world's most jealous woman makes her husband take a lie detector. They're all long stories. I was going to talk about Charlize Theron, but I don't want to keep you too long, and I want to let Shit Dick get back on his video games.
Oh yes,
but yeah, it was like you sent me this. It's like a TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the pictures of these people. This looks like central casting. So every time he comes home, this slob of a human woman, and she is a slob of a human woman.
Slob.
She is one of the ugliest human beings I've ever seen. Yeah, I was just going to pull up that picture. There they are. Yeah, she makes him take a lie detector test. Trust me, no one's fucking either of you. You found each other. Be happy about it.
That's just it. That is just it. Like, what?
Ugh.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Did you also see, Mike, that Tupac's friends and family smoked his ashes hours after his death?
They did?
Mm-hmm. Suge Knight. That's what Suge Knight's saying.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then I saw someone comment.
Ashes.
I saw someone comment on this story and said his friend smoked him twice.
That's awesome.
I was like, I see what you did there, and I approve.
Yeah, that's great. Love it. Love it. All right, let's do a couple of emails.
Okay, Mike.
Walters at DetroitCast.com. We're working on getting Amy an email too, so you can shit on her if you like.
You just slide into my DMs like Brad Pitt did.
Yeah, it's not bad. FYI, the Beatles do suck, and I'd write the show every time Drew would jizz on the microphone talking about them, mainly just to get his goat, much like I do to you. These goat hunters are the worst.
The goat hunters.
First off, the Beatles do not stop it. You sound dumb when you say something so stupid. Like, I get it. You don't have to like the music, and you're not getting my goat with this, right? The Beatles are magical masters of their musical instruments and their writing. Like, it's undeniable. You don't have to like them. I like a lot of stupid bands. They're not the Beatles. The Beatles are next level, wrote their own shit, brilliant composers. Like, just stop. And he's trying to get my goat, and it's not happening. But I don't jizz on the Beatles like Drew does. I'll give you that. Bean Boozled. Is that what that candy was called? The ones that taste gross?
Yeah, the jelly bean game.
Yeah. So is that different than the Harry Potter ones? Or
think it's the same. It's like the same thing. I think maybe it started with Harry Potter. I don't know if they're like still Harry Potter branded, but yeah, that's what it's called, Bean Boozled.
The only reason I knew about the Harry Potter ones, like I was saying the other day, is for promotional stuff, they would always send us shit, like hoping that the morning show would talk about it's same with bands. If an album's coming out, they might send you something special about the band in hopes that it would set them apart and you'd talk more about them. That was a promotional thing that the movie company sent. So instead of just sending the movie, it would be like, ooh, this is a big movie. It's some new Harry Potter movie. And they sent us those jelly beans. And so that's how I knew about them. But I only thought of Harry Potter with that. So if Bean Boozled, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Is that what they're selling now still? But James wrote in about that. Best game ever. I love the disgusting flavors. The rule of no spitting out your choice should be enforced stringently, though, to really make it fun. Damn Jelly Belly knows how to make flavors of all kinds. Those flavors were disgusting.
They were.
From what I remember. Could you eat those? Like, Drew didn't notice.
No, I would never fucking eat those because I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah. That's how I feel. This is a long one. I'll hold this one. All right, let's call it there. I'm going to go apologize to Marshall. I feel bad now for yelling at him. He was a dick, though, dude. That's a dick
so
move.
Were you.
Well, I came at him kind of hot, and I'm way bigger than him, but that was bullshit.
Yeah.
That was bullshit to jump back.
Ask him if he wants to go out for ice cream.
Yeah. Maybe I'll take him to McDonald's or something.
Oh, yeah. That's
Take
nice,
them to Handles for ice creams. All right. Have a good day.
Right.
We'll do a member show tomorrow. We're already there.
Cool.
And then the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the fireworks? I think they're illegal around here.
My dog hates fireworks. It's always a thing.
Cease is cool. Cease gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets it.
Well, good.
Patreon.com/TDC Podcast if you'd like to join us. And any update on Chicken Boy?
Turtle Boy.
I'm just kidding.
Let me check. No update yet, Mike, but I will let you know.
I know you're looking forward to that. I'm excited for you.
Very much.
So yeah, I know it was supposed to be, was it supposed to be tonight? It was supposed to be today.
Yeah.
So,
but he wanted to move it up and I had a conflict, so that didn't work.
Okay. Well, we'll get it. We'll do it.
We will.
All right. Well, have a great rest of the night. Say hi to the dogs and Rocky for me.
Okay.
And I will talk to you mañana.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.